Take a breath with me before we begin. A deep one, in through the nose, and slowly out through the mouth. Good, you're here. I'm grateful you're here. Welcome, welcome. Today we're stepping into something powerful. Not fluffy, not theoretical, not someday I'll try that. No, today we're going into something you can use right now to rise, to reset your mind, awaken your energy, and reconnect with your spirit in a way that feels grounded, real, and doable. Because here's the honest truth. Life doesn't always come with a gentle rhythm. Sometimes it gives you sunshine, and sometimes it throws you straight into the storm. And on those storm days, motivation feels like a faraway island you just can't get to. But listen to me closely. You don't need perfect conditions to rise. You don't need perfect timing, perfect discipline, or a perfect plan. You just need tools, the right tools, and today you're going to walk away with them. So settle in, roll your shoulders back, let your breath deepen, let your mind open. Let's rise. Uplifting the mind, your command center, your internal operating system, the captain behind the wheel of every decision, every reaction, every interpretation of your reality. We forget, not because we don't know better, but because life gets loud. We spend so much time trying to outrun our own thoughts that we forget just how deeply they shape us. We try to outwork them, outpace them, ignore them, silence them. But the mind doesn't disappear just because we're too busy to listen. It waits, it whispers, it steers the ship even when we're not paying attention. Here's the truth, a truth we don't hear often enough. If the mind is scattered, the whole world feels chaotic. If the mind is heavy, life feels heavy. If the mind is unmotivated, the body becomes still and the spirit feels dim. You can have the best intentions in the world, the biggest dreams, the most beautiful vision for your life. But if your mind is foggy, overwhelmed, disconnected, or spiraling, everything else becomes harder than it needs to be. That's why we begin here. Not because the mind is the only piece of your motivation, but because it is the gateway, the starting point, the foundation. When the mind rises, everything else can rise with it. So I want to give you 3 mind-shifting tactics today. Simple, practical, transformative, not theories, not philosophies, tools. Tools you can call on in the middle of a busy day. Tools you can use during a stressful moment. Tools you can lean on right when you wake up, before the world has a chance to pull you off center. Let's go to the first one. 1. Reframe your inner dialogue. There's a voice inside you, talking, interpreting, narrating, a constant storyteller. It comments on your decisions, it analyzes your actions, it judges your progress. Sometimes it cheers for you, sometimes it criticizes you before you even take a step. But the game changer, the liberating reminder, is this. You are not your thoughts. You are the thinker behind your thoughts. There is a you that observes, a you that notices, a you that chooses. And once you remember that, the entire dynamic shifts. Because when a thought shows up like, I'm not good enough, or I'm behind, or I should have done better, you don't have to swallow it whole. You don't have to accept it as truth. You don't have to let it decide your mood or your day or your confidence. You get to pause. You get to breathe. You get to look at it with curiosity instead of judgment. Don't fight the thought. Don't fear it. Just notice it. And from that place of awareness, you reframe it. You move it from a dead end into a doorway. You shift it from a weight into a stepping stone. Try replacing, I can't do this. I'm learning how to do this. I failed. I discovered what doesn't work. I'm overwhelmed. I'm preparing my next step. And yes, let me say this clearly. This is not lying to yourself. This is not pretending everything is perfect. This is not sugarcoating reality. This is choosing the angle that empowers you rather than drains you. This is choosing a perspective that lifts you instead of pulling you under. This is remembering that thoughts are suggestions, not commands. And you are the one who decides which suggestions you accept. Reframing is a skill, a practice, a mental muscle. And the more you use it, the stronger it becomes. Before we move on, take a breath, a slow one, deep in and gently out. Now say this with me, out loud if you can. I direct my inner voice. I choose thoughts that lift me. Good. Feel that. Let it settle into you. Let it become part of your internal language. Because once you master this single tactic, you stop being a passenger in your own mind and you take the wheel. 2. Micro-step momentum. Let me tell you something most people never say out loud. Not because it's complicated, but because it's uncomfortable. The biggest destroyer of motivation is not laziness. It's not procrastination. It's not a lack of willpower. It's magnitude. It's the size of the task, the weight of the goal, the distance between where you are and where you want to be. It's the moment your mind looks at everything you need to do and whispers, "That's too much. You'll never catch up. Don't even bother." Magnitude freezes people, not because they aren't capable, but because the mountain looks bigger than their energy. So here's the tactic, the antidote, micro steps. Tiny, doable actions that are so small your brain can't argue with them. Steps that don't trigger resistance, steps that don't demand perfection, steps that feel almost laughably simple. Clean the whole house? No. Pick up one item, just one. Your brain won't fight that. Start a new business? No. Write one idea. Not a full plan, not a full strategy, just a single thought. Change your health? No. Drink one glass of water, not an entire diet overhaul, not 10,000 steps, just water. Every micro step is a signal to your brain that says, "See, this is easy. We can do this." And when the brain believes something is easy, motivation grows, energy rises, action becomes natural again. Here's the sequence nobody teaches us in school. Small actions build trust. Trust builds momentum. Momentum creates motivation, not the other way around. Motivation doesn't magically arrive first. It's built. Through motion, not intention. Remember this line and carry it with you everywhere you go. Small actions compound into massive change. Because they do. Massive change is never one big leap. It's thousands of tiny steps that slowly, steadily rewrite who you become. 3. The 5-minute rule. Now let's talk about one of the most powerful psychological tools you can give yourself. And it's almost absurdly simple. The 5-minute rule. You commit to doing something for 5 minutes. That's it. Not finishing the whole thing, not doing it perfectly, not completing the task from start to finish. Just 5 minutes. 5 minutes of exercise, 5 minutes of writing, 5 minutes of cleaning, 5 minutes of stretching, planning, organizing, reflecting, anything. Why does this work so well? Because starting is the hardest part. Not doing, not finishing, starting. Your brain loves inertia. If you're still, it wants to keep you still. But once you begin, your brain wants to continue because momentum has already started rolling. Here's the psychological secret. Once you begin, your brain recalculates the difficulty. What felt like a mountain 5 minutes ago now feels like a small hill. And hills are easy to climb. But even if you stop at 5 minutes, you still win. Every single time. Why? Because you didn't wait for motivation. You created it. Because you took action, even a tiny one. Because you proved to your mind, I follow through. I show up. I do what I say I'll do. Say this out loud with me. I start small. I start now. Let it sit in your chest for a moment. That sentence alone can change your habits, your routines, your direction. And that's the mind. Clear, grounded, redirected, recentered. Now let's take that clarity and bring it into the body. Energizing the body. Your body is your engine, your vehicle, your partner in every decision, every dream, every step you take toward the life you want. You can have the clearest mindset in the world, but if your body feels drained, neglected, or disconnected, motivation becomes harder than it should be. Because when the body is tired, the mind becomes foggy. When the body is overwhelmed, the spirit gets quiet. When the body shuts down, the energy needed for change disappears. But here's the beauty of it. When the body wakes up, the mind wakes up. When the body finds energy, the spirit finds hope. So let's explore how to reignite your physical self, not with complexity, not with intensity, but with simple, powerful practices that reconnect you to your strength, your vitality, your presence. 1. Breathwork reset. Let's start with something you carry with you everywhere you go, your breath. Breath is the fastest, most accessible, most immediate route to shifting your emotional and physical state. When you're stressed, your breath becomes shallow. When you're anxious, it becomes tight. When you're confident, balanced, and grounded, your breath reflects that too. Breath is your body's internal switch, your built-in reset button. So right here, right now, I want to guide you through a short practice. 20 seconds that can change your entire nervous system. Ready? Inhale for 4 seconds. Slow, steady, fill the lungs. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 2. Let the breath sit gently. 1, 2. Exhale for 6. Slow release. Let tension fall out with the air. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. Now again, soften your jaw. Relax your shoulders. Loosen your belly. Let the breath melt through the body, unclenching places you didn't realize were tight. Even 60 seconds of conscious breathing can clear mental fog, soften stress, sharpen your focus, and energize your entire system. Remember this, your breath is always there, always accessible, always ready to guide you back into yourself. Whenever you feel scattered, overwhelmed, or mentally tired, start with breath. It is the doorway back to balance. 2. Move the body, shift the energy. We sometimes forget this, but your emotions don't just live in your head, they live in your body. Stress tightens the shoulders, fear sits heavy in the chest. Frustration clenches the jaw, fatigue settles into the spine, anxiety buzzes in the muscles, sadness weighs on the hips. Movement is how your body processes emotion. Movement is how you release what you're carrying. Movement is how you shift your state, almost instantly. And I'm not talking about hour-long workouts or intense routines. I'm talking about micro-movement, tiny actions that take less than a minute, but create instant energy. Shake out your hands, roll your shoulders back, stretch your arms overhead and let your ribs expand. Stand tall and take a deep breath. Do 10 slow neck circles, walk for 2 minutes in your home, bounce on your toes for 10 seconds. These small shifts communicate something powerful to your nervous system. I'm awake, I'm present, I'm ready to engage. Movement breaks stagnation, it interrupts stress, it reboots your internal rhythm, and more importantly, it reconnects you to your power. Say this with me, my body is my ally. When I move, I rise. Feel that. That sentence is not just motivation, it's physiology, because motion creates emotion. Movement creates momentum. 3. Physical anchors. Now let's talk about something subtle but incredibly effective. Physical anchors. A physical anchor is a small intentional action that triggers a specific emotional state in your brain. It's like a personal power button, a fast, reliable cue that tells your body, wake up, shift, step into strength. These anchors work because the brain loves associations. Do something often enough, and your brain begins to link that action with a specific emotion. Here are some simple, powerful examples. Splashing cold water on your face. Turning on your power song, that one track that lights you up. Standing tall with your shoulders back and chest open. Placing a hand on your heart, taking one deep breath and saying, I'm ready. Opening a window for fresh air. Touching your thumb and index finger together to signal focus. Lighting a candle or scent that your brain connects with clarity. The key with anchors is consistency. Use them regularly and intentionally. Over time, your brain will associate that small action with readiness, strength, and momentum. It becomes automatic, effortless, a switch you can flip at any moment. Anchors turn low-energy moments into launch pads. They help you shift from I can't into let's go. Your body holds so much more power than you realize. And when you let your body participate in your motivation, not just your mind, your entire system rises. Use your breath, use your movement, use your anchors. Let your body become a source of energy, not a drain, a source of activation, not resistance, a partner, not a problem. Your body is your ally. Let it help you rise, elevating the spirit. Now we move into the heart, the soul, the quiet inner place where truth lives. The spirit, the fire within you that refuses to go out, even when everything else feels dim. Your spirit is your compass, your inner fuel, your why behind every choice, every dream, every step forward. When your spirit is nourished, motivation doesn't feel like work. It doesn't feel forced. It doesn't feel like a battle between what you want and what you feel capable of. When your spirit is awake, motivation flows naturally, gently, powerfully. So let's explore 3 spiritual practices that elevate that inner fire. The fire that has always been there, even in your quietest, most exhausted moments. 1. Purpose reconnection. Purpose is one of the most misunderstood ideas in self-growth. People think purpose has to be grand, loud, monumental, like it has to shake the earth or make headlines. But purpose is rarely that dramatic. Purpose is alignment. Purpose is movement toward what matters. Purpose is the feeling that something is right for your soul. It's the inner voice whispering, "This is where I want to go. This is who I want to become. This is the difference I want to make, even if it's small." Purpose doesn't demand perfection, just connection. And when you reconnect with your purpose, even for a moment, everything changes. Tasks become meaningful. Challenges become shaping forces. Obstacles become teachers. Effort becomes devotion rather than punishment. So ask yourself gently, not with pressure, but with curiosity. What am I doing this for? Who am I becoming as I move forward? What impact do I want my life, my choices, my presence to have? You don't need all the answers. You don't need a 5-year plan. You don't need to articulate your purpose like a TED Talk. Your spirit doesn't crave certainty, it craves meaning. Just a thread of meaning is enough to light the way. Reconnect with that meaning and watch your motivation rise like a flame catching air. 2. The gratitude reset. Gratitude is often talked about, rarely felt, and almost never done right. Real gratitude, in the spiritual kind, isn't about forcing yourself to be positive. It isn't a list you write to look wise or balanced. It's not a box you check. True gratitude is presence. It's the ability to notice what is beautiful, supportive, grounding, comforting, or meaningful in your life, even when everything else feels overwhelming. Gratitude is spiritual oxygen. It opens the heart, it shifts your perspective, it brings you back to now, this moment, this breath, this gift of being alive. And the key to gratitude is specificity. Instead of, "I'm grateful for my family," go deeper. "I'm grateful for the way my daughter laughed today, the kind of laugh that made me smile without trying. I'm grateful for that first warm sip of coffee that helped me feel steady this morning. I'm grateful for the strength that carried me through a week I didn't think I could handle. I'm grateful for the part of me that keeps trying, even when I'm tired. I'm grateful for the tiny moment of peace I felt when I stepped outside and felt the breeze." Specific gratitude shifts your spirit instantly. It moves your focus from what's missing to what's present, from overwhelm to enoughness, from pressure to appreciation, from tension to softness. This shift doesn't just make you feel good, it reactivates motivation. A spirit fed by gratitude becomes stronger, lighter, clearer. Say this softly, but say it like you mean it. Every day I have something to celebrate. Let that truth settle in your chest. Let it soften you. Let it lift you. Because no matter what is happening around you, life still holds small gifts. And noticing them keeps your spirit alive. 3. Emotional release and renewal. Motivation doesn't fade because you're lazy. It fades because you're carrying weight. Weight you were never meant to hold forever. Stress, fear, disappointment, anger, fatigue, self-doubt, grief you tucked away, conversations you never had, expectations you couldn't meet, emotions you pushed down so you could keep going. All of that builds up, and it clings to the spirit like dust, layer by layer, until you feel heavy without knowing why. You cannot rise when your spirit is weighed down. You cannot feel motivated when you are emotionally full with things you haven't released. So the goal isn't to push through the weight, it's to let it go. Here are powerful ways to release: journaling honestly, not perfect writing, just truth on paper; speaking to someone you trust, letting your emotions be witnessed, crying when your body needs it. Tears are cleansing, not weakness; meditation or stillness, allowing emotions to settle instead of swirl; forgiveness, not for them, but for your peace; rest, real rest, not scrolling, not numbing, but replenishing. Release creates space, and once space opens, renewal has room to move in. This is why people feel lighter after a good cry, a deep conversation, a moment of stillness, or a night of real sleep. The emotional clutter lifts, and your spirit can breathe again. And when the spirit can breathe, motivation returns naturally, not forced, not faked, not pushed, renewed. The alignment method: mind, body, and spirit together. Tone shifts: warm, uplifting, hopeful, unifying. We bring everything together: mind, body, spirit. Your mental clarity, physical energy, and spiritual purpose, all moving in the same direction. When these three align, something powerful happens. Motivation stops being a battle and becomes a rhythm, a flow, a natural unfolding, a state of being instead of a state of effort. You don't push yourself, you carry yourself. You don't fight forward, you rise forward. So here's a simple 5-minute daily alignment ritual, just 5 minutes, but it touches every part of you. 1 minute for the mind. Choose one negative thought and reframe it. Just one. Not all of them. Not everything that stresses you out, just the loudest one. I'm overwhelmed. I'm taking one step. I'm stuck. I'm preparing to move. I can't. I'm learning. This single shift can redirect your entire day. 2. 1 minute for the body. Move. Stretch your arms. Roll your shoulders. Take a deep breath. Shake off tension. Stand tall. Wake the engine. Tell your body, we're alive. We're moving. We're ready. 3. 1 minute for the spirit. Name something you're grateful for, but make it real. One moment, one feeling, one tiny piece of beauty or strength. That's enough. 4. 1 minute of intentions. Set one intention, not a list, not a plan, not pressure, just one direction for your energy to flow. Today I show up. Today I breathe deeper. Today I stay grounded. Today I give myself grace. Today I take one step. One intention can anchor your entire day. 5. 1 minute of stillness. Close your eyes. Place a hand on your chest if it feels natural. Breathe. Let the mind settle. Let the body soften. Let the spirit expand. This stillness is not emptiness. It is alignment. With 5 minutes, just 5, you can reset your entire emotional, mental, and physical trajectory. That is the power of alignment. That is the power of intention. That is the power of coming back home to yourself. Rise again. Tone slows, warms, deepens. Steady, powerful, encouraging. You made it here, to the end. And that means something important. It means your spirit is open. Your mind is awake. Your body is listening. You are ready to rise. Maybe life has knocked you down before. Maybe you've felt tired. Maybe you've doubted yourself. Maybe you've had seasons where motivation felt impossible. But here you are, still choosing growth, still showing up, still trying, still rising, even if slowly. And that makes you extraordinary. You are capable of far more than you give yourself credit for. You are stronger than the heaviest parts of your past. You are wiser than the fears that whisper in your ear. And you carry everything you need to rise, again and again and again. Motivation is not something you wait for. Motivation is something you create. And today you learned how to create it. Reframe your thoughts. Take micro steps. Move your body. Connect with your purpose. Release your emotional weight. Align your mind, your body, and your spirit. You don't need perfection. You don't need a flawless plan. You just need to begin. And you already did. So step forward with confidence. Step forward with intention. Step forward knowing this truth. You are powerful. You are worthy. You can rise, and you will. Thank you for being here. Thank you for choosing yourself. Now go uplift your mind, energize your body, awaken your spirit, and rise again. The world needs the strongest, brightest version of you, and you're stepping into it right now.